Thank you, everybody. Feel free to start with questions.
Any questions? Go ahead.
Jeff, Cincinnati comes out, starts the second half, three-guard lineup. They cut it down to 8 points. I know you like to see your team make the adjustments on the court on their own. What did you see from them, and was that what you wanted to see? In the time that it occurred.
Well, I mean, I was very impressed with Cincinnati's guards. I told Michelle after the game, they have some very talented guards. The Milton kid played fantastic. I thought Jackson played well. It's a good group. She's going to win some ball games. There's no question. Our problem is, well, it was tonight. I mean, after someone makes two of them or three, you might want to say, hey, we can't give them a fourth or fifth. And then we fouled a three-point shooter on one. So just some small things. Just some things that we can learn from it. I wasn't going to call timeout. It's not what I normally do early in the year. And we made some adjustments. And then I put Koss back in the ball game, and she's so good at the defensive end for us. She guards her man and three others. And then we finally offensively slowed down. And Haley made some big time shots. She's a great player, and she did exactly what great players do. But overall, we took the first 4 possessions of the second half. I don't think we got but one decent shot, and we turned it over. We forced a shot up. It was ugly basketball.
Ryan and Paulie.
Morgan looked like she transitioned into the Louisville style pretty easily. Would you ever doubt that would happen for her?
No, I mean, I had no questions. Her or CC will do well here and flourish. It's just a different, it's different expectations. The target on the back is different now, and also playing with the amount of players that we're fortunate to have. You have to value the basketball. You've got to take care of the ball. We had too many silly turnovers, unforced turnovers that we have to eliminate if we want to have a great year. But that's part of it. I thought, Josie, I thought played really well. Went out there, finished around the basket. She rebounded the ball. Liz played well. It was a good night. A lot of really good things.
Paulie, then Alexis.
Coach, Liz just looks like she's playing with so much more confidence this year. Just kind of talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's work. I mean, it's work. There's nothing more than that. She puts the time in. She got in the gym, and the more you prepare for something, the more success you're most likely to have. So very, very happy for her.
Alexis, then Eric.
Jeff, you guys were able to get a lot of those reserves in kind of early there, later in the first half. How important is that to get those reps and kind of find those rotations that work?
Well, I think it's going to be really important for us. Just trying to see, a lot of people worked on their games in the off season, and now it's time to find out, can they translate all the work they've done into games. And for the most part, I was pleased. So, we'll go back to work tomorrow, get back in the gym, continue to work on some things, and then come back out here on Thursday night and see if we can't get a little bit better.
Eric and back then Steve.
It seemed like you were able to get your hands on more balls defensively and start coming up with more steals as the game went on. Was that getting more aggressive, or them wearing down, or you just kind of figured out what they were doing a little bit?
Well, we had talked about it. We had to get more aggressive at the defensive end. We were allowing them to cut and pass, and that's just it's not good for us. We've got to try to get people out of their offense, out of their rhythm. And I thought in the second quarter especially, we did a great job of that. And then we attacked in transition. I thought we made some really nice passes up the floor and looked to score instead of trying to set up an offense.
Steve, then back to
Jeff, having Olivia and Liz on the court at the same time, how important is it to have a bigger presence on the floor and have that size you know, not necessarily in this game, but moving forward, you know, as the season progresses?
Well, it's all going to depend on matchups. You know, like if you play a team that's got 4 guards, 5 guards, then we might not be able to do that as much. But of course, it's great. It's great to have some depth, and that's one thing I think Josie also brings to this team. You know, her ability to score around the basket was pretty impressive today, which is what she's done in practice. She has a great hook shot over the left or right shoulder, great body control. So yeah, I was really pleased. I thought Liz, O, and Josie all played really well in the paint. I thought Nyla Harris came in and did some really good things as well.
You guys mentioned a Thursday game. You'll have 3 in a matter of, I guess that's 7-ish days. Mikasa kind of joked, they're getting older, so it's a little different. But I guess what is that conditioning and preparation like for that kind of stretch at the beginning of the year?
Well, it's not. They'd rather be playing games than practicing. I guarantee you that. So yeah, I'm not concerned about that. As coaches, we'll sit there and won't go as hard tomorrow, but we will work on some things that we have to get better at to make sure that they're fresh for Thursday night.
Ken, then Brian.
How does it hit you when you see the banner unveiled? I mean, it's happened a few times, but you flash back to, I mean, that's such a significant accomplishment just to do that.
No, it is. I mean, that's one of the things we talked to the kids about in the locker room, but before we came out, was especially the returning players, was to make sure you enjoyed the moment, because it was a lot of work. It's not easy to get there. It's a big deal, and to have 4 of them up there right now, I think it speaks volumes for what we've been able to do here in 15 full seasons. So we're going to continue to strive to put more up there, and hopefully put one up there that says national champion on it. That's our ultimate goal.
Go ahead,
One time right during the fourth quarter, you went pretty small with Nyla as the biggest player on the court. Was that more of to match up with their smaller lineup, or just let's see if this works?
No, it was just to give some players some more playing time. There comes a point in time, if you want to try to get a couple players some extra time, that your lineup won't be perfect. But Nyla competes, and she can play the 5 if she needs to. It's not ideal for her, but I was really, really impressed with her tonight.
Any other questions? Eric in the back.
Jeff, you can schedule games where you win by 50, and we see that a lot. But you look at your schedule, you've got teams that are going to test you. What's your value? What's your philosophy of that? Because there are games out there you could lose, and that could just happen. How do you feel about early season?
Yeah, no, we try to, when I schedule our non-conference, I'm trying to schedule teams that look a little bit similar, play the same style of play that teams in our league will. And then of course with Michelle at Cincinnati, Michelle worked here. She was a huge part of this program being where it is. And then you've got IUPUI coming in here on Thursday, and the problem is, if it was a Power 5 name school, somebody'd be like, oh my God, it's going to be great. But they don't realize IUPUI lost by 6, I think, or 4 to Oklahoma at Oklahoma in the first round of the tournament. And then we're playing at Belmont, who is 1 possession away from being in the Sweet 16, us playing them instead of Tennessee. Then we travel down to play at Middle Tennessee State, who was in the Final Four of the WNIT. We put a really good schedule together. It's just a matter of if you really take the time to study our game. I joke about it all the time. Like when I coached at Nebraska years ago, Wisconsin Green Bay would come down and play, and we get an average turnout. And Wisconsin Green Bay, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I mean, we're top 10, top 15, but it's the name. And that's the problem. If you don't do your homework and really understand, okay, women's basketball, who were the teams? So we try to go out there. And again, I like to play road games. I think it's us and South Carolina that ranked in the top 10 are playing 5 true road games in the non-conference. So we're excited about that, and we're fortunate to play Kentucky each year, and they're going to be good again this season. Kyra's doing a really nice job there, so it's going to be fun, and we try to do that. Now, every once in a while you do have a bye game here or there that you're supposed to win by 30 or 40. So you can give some players, some freshmen, possibly some sophomores that might not have had a whole bunch of playing time the year before, more game time experience. So you do have to sprinkle a few of those in.
Thanks, Coach, appreciate you.
Thank you, everybody. Man, you cutting them off?
Any other questions?
Nick would let us go. All right, boy. Times have changed, guys. Times have changed. Matt's trying to get to the parlor. That football starts here soon, right?
The pizza's on the table.
Man, it's tough.